Welcome to Living Your Path. I am Cecile Ferry, a coach and astrologer. I'm here to guide you on how to live and work in alignment with your true self so you can find fulfillment and serenity. Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to the Cosmic Catch-Up Update for the week commencing the 15th of September. Well, there is a lot to say, and I'm just going to warn you, this may be blowing up beyond the normal 10 minutes because there is a lot going on. I would say right now the last 2 weeks of September are probably the most loaded weeks of the entire astrological year. We've had a lot of shifts already, but eclipse season is massive and we are right in the middle of it. So the headline is, we are still in the corridor. I don't know how you've been feeling last week. I'm just going to say it was interesting, like just for me, lots of things happening and unfolding. Lots of insights and learning and shifts. And so it feels like it keeps on giving. So you may be in the same situation. This is very much a pattern of being on hold, of being really in that point in between where some of the old has shifted, or we have seen where we need to change, and we've kind of got there, at least mentally, but the new hasn't arrived. So you may relate to that. So we need to practice patience. I suck at that, but I try. And really trying to stay grounded during this eclipse corridor because there is more coming at us. More, but I choose to see it as very exciting, interesting. I think we're living very interesting times, not easy times when it comes to our identity and our role in the world. Nevertheless, I'll choose that over boring, stable, annoying all the time, right? So for this week, I actually need to cover a couple of little things in the lead up, but then the bulk of the update today is on the eclipse happening because it's happening across Sunday afternoon, evening, and early hours of Monday morning. So I could not wait until next Monday to tell you about it. Okay, so prior to that, on Wednesday, just a quick one to mention. So we have an opposition between Mars, the planet of action and power, and Chiron, the planet of our personal wounds. So I'm just going to put it here so you know if something does stir you up, if something feels sensitive and tender, if something brings up old wounds on Wednesday, and it is likely to come through other people, just know it's that. And take note, and Mars might ask you to release, to do something, but just be extremely compassionate with yourself and don't do anything too rash or too aggressive potentially. So just giving you a warning for this Wednesday. Friday, the planet of communication and the mind, Mercury, is moving into Libra. But on top of that, it is at that moment when it moves into 1 degree Libra, forming a grand trine with 2 other planets. A grand trine is the name for one of those big triangles, to simplify, in the sky. And that means something really positive. That means a real nice flow of energy between those 3 planets. So they are Uranus in Gemini, Pluto in Aquarius, and Mercury in Libra. This is a grand trine at 1 degree of the air signs. So that means really good opportunity around Friday to initiate something, to begin, to start over. Something to do with mind, ideas, communication, and having those 3 planets. I like to think of it like, a panel with 3 completely different personalities that are all bringing something different, but together they complement each other and make it to greatness. So what you can expect is maybe something is going to click on Friday. You may have some breakthrough in your thinking or in your conversations because of Mercury, but it will be good. Like nothing should be too abrasive or sudden, mind you. Uranus can be quite a sudden, but it can be also a liberating way of thinking. So look for sudden flashes of insights, ideas that shift in a diplomatic, controlled way on Friday. And this is good to know because this may be part of the story for you for the eclipse. And finally, on Saturday, Venus is moving into Virgo. So this is about having our relationships, our finances in a spirit of order, organization, and service. So you get it. This opens a new chapter where it's a really good idea to do something of service to people that you are in relationships with, be it friends or partners, and also a good time to put some order into your finances. Okay, so these were the transits for the week leading up, but I think everything is part of the puzzle. That's why we can't just look at things separately. This will all lead to the eclipse, which is happening on Sunday in New York at 3:54 p.m. in the afternoon, in London at 8:54 p.m. in the evening, and in Australia it will be early on Monday morning at 5:54 a.m. So this is a partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. So that means the sun and the moon are together, and they're together at 29 degrees Virgo. This is really important because number one, it's the second new moon in Virgo that we're having. So we had one on the 23rd of August, and you can go back and see what was happening. This is likely to be in keeping with that theme, but on a much higher level, super amplified, okay? That also means this lunar cycle, we get twice the opportunity to set an intention that is linked to Virgo traits. Virgo is about our health, is about our bodies, it's about our daily activities, how we're looking after ourselves, and also being useful and being of service to others. So all those topics, all those aspects of life are really highlighted and getting a lot of energy right now. And this is where you should focus. So look in your birth chart. If you don't have a birth chart, this could be the perfect opportunity for you to book a birth chart reading with me. The link is in the show note of this podcast episode, or you can just go to my website at cecilferry.com. Because once you do your birth chart reading, you have it for life. I give you a copy of your chart, and every single new moon or full moon, you can go and locate the degree that it's happening at, and you know where it's going to be for you in your life. I also release each year a moon calendar that tells you exactly that. So if you don't want to do the birth chart and you just want to know for the moons, you can order it from my website as well. So look where that 29 degrees of Virgo falls in your chart, which house, which means which aspect, which domain of your life. And being at the 29th degree is very important. It's called in astrology the anaretic degrees because it's the last one of the sign, and therefore it carries very specific importance. There is a sense of added pressure. It's kind of like the last chance for the lessons of that sign to happen. So there is like a concentration of energy. Okay, so this is a new moon in Virgo. So that means it's very important to set a new intention because it will bring a new start. It will bring new potential, new beginnings in your life in that specific area of your chart. And I just want to say it may not happen by Sunday or Monday next week. It may take a couple more weeks. It can take months. An eclipse is said to impact over the 6 months that happen before and after. So this could potentially take you all the way to March next year. And in fact, there is a total lunar eclipse in Virgo on the 3rd of March, which could be, if you like, the final point of that story. But nevertheless, you will see something new sprouting in your life, and it's a really important time to set an intention. Now I want to go back to last week's update. I did mention that the South Node and the Sun were together in Virgo, and that was to show us where do we need to release all things that are not working in order for us to move forward. So I hope that you know what it was for you. Think back what happened last week. And so it's still very important to release as much as you can before the eclipse, because you can have a much greater start when you've made room. And Virgo is all about that. It's about purifying. So Virgo lends itself extremely well to decluttering. So those of you that love it, go ahead. Those of you that don't often do it, this is the time to really double down on it. I would really recommend this weekend, wherever you are in the world, whether it's a spring clean or an autumn clean, really good time to go through your home and make some order. Very, very Virgo. And also, emotionally and mentally speaking, what are the things that you are shedding, that you're releasing, that you're decluttering from your life, so that comes the new fresh start over the next few weeks or month, you can really step into it and have different experiences and different results. So keep shedding is my message, and really focus on decluttering over the weekend. That will be a great head start for that eclipse energy that will sweep in and take itself, everything with it. And especially being on the 29th degree of Virgo, it's extremely purifying, if I can say it that way. So work with it, assist the universe with it, kind of co-create by doing your part, making room, and you will see brand new things will come in, especially in relation to your daily habits, your patterns, your health, and the way you help other people. In terms of other aspects that are happening at the same time as this eclipse, only two that I really want to focus on. First of all, I will say the grand trine that we have in the lead up on Friday is going mandatorily to play a role here. So it's like a precursor. See what ideas, see what new insights come through, and they will then lead into the eclipse. I really see that as the full story. So what started to shift from the lunar eclipse we had last week, and what were the things that you're starting to see need to go and are old? What are the things that the South Node really showed you with the Sun last week? And then what are those insights that came through the grand trine on Friday? You know, that kind of give you the, maybe it's that, maybe that's the way. And then keep decluttering, and then comes the eclipse on Sunday/Monday. You might be seeing real change into action and brand new things coming to life. One transit to note is that the eclipse where the Sun and Moon are will be opposite Saturn in Pisces, nearly to the degree. So that means there's a little bit of a break being put on it. It might feel heavy. It's not a bad thing. It is there to tell us, hang on. Wait a minute. Have you considered all aspects? Do you really know what you're doing? It's a bit of a gatekeeper, a bit of a reality check, maybe forcing us to slow down a little bit and really check in with ourselves. So I see that as an inner transit where we have to go inwards and we have to check in with ourselves. Is it sitting well with us? Do we need to put some boundaries in place in order to have that change in our life? How can we have harmony, and how can we show responsibility for our inner stability and emotional maturity? So you can hear a lot of like responsible, mature themes at the same time as this eclipse happened. It's not like, woo, everything's fantastic, let's go, rock and roll. There's a bit of like, okay, but let's anchor this in the right way that works with our inner self. So a really good idea to meditate over the weekend and during this eclipse, because that is Pisces energy. That's going to help ground you and making sure you are also releasing the timing of it, because Saturn is the Lord of time and karma. So we might feel a little pulled in both directions when the eclipse is taking us, but also Saturn. So sit in there, sit in that discomfort, that pull between the two. Meditate, take your time, maybe journal a lot what's coming up for you, and just trust that clarity will come. But it's just important to not rush the process. And the other transit happening during that eclipse as well is Venus is squaring Uranus. So that's a little plot twist when it comes to our relationships and finances. So you could be seeing something as well moving or pulling at you a bit unexpectedly when it comes to your money, your partnerships, your love life, or your values. So this could be also a piece of the puzzle of the eclipse. Plenty to look forward to, isn't it? So yes, a big week. But as I hope that you got from my podcast today, this is all a sequence. This actually makes sense. We're building a story here, and we are not going to be the same person in a couple of weeks than we were prior to the eclipse. And that's what I'm personally really excited about. So as usual during eclipse, take it easy. Look after yourself. Don't take on too many social commitments, go into a big room full of people, or put yourself in situations that may trigger you and challenge you, as you already know. It's like there's already a lot of energies out there, so you don't want to be adding a lot of other external energy that you know is not good for you. So try to do something light for yourself. Try to focus on breathing, relaxing, meditating, and trust that this is really making sense. But we may not see the sense until after the eclipse, after some time. So another interesting week on the journey. So just try to enjoy the journey as we are moving towards a new destination. I hope this helped, and as usual, if it does, if you enjoy those episodes, please share them with a friend, with a colleague, even just one person, or give me a review on Tapping on the Stars on your podcast platform, because it helps other people find those updates. So I appreciate if you can do that. Thank you so much. Wishing you all a good week, a patient week before that eclipse, and I really hope that the weekend will bring you some really interesting change and new beginnings in your life. Take care, everyone. I will speak to you on the other side next week. Bye for now.